What if the monsters we thought were only legends were actually real? For thousands of years, people around the world have told stories of terrifying beasts, giant sea monsters, human-animal hybrids, and bloodthirsty predators that stalk the night. Most dismiss them as myths, but history, science, and strange discoveries suggest there may be truth behind the tales. In this video, we'll uncover 7 mythical creatures that might have actually existed. And I promise, by the end, you'll never look at myths the same way again. Let's begin with a creature so feared, sailors believed the ocean itself could rise up and swallow them whole. Creature number 7, the Kraken. Since the 12th century, sailors around Norway and Iceland whispered about a monster called the Kraken, a squid-like beast so massive it could wrap its arms around entire ships and drag them beneath the waves. These tales weren't just ghost stories. In 1853, the remains of a giant squid washed ashore in Denmark, its body stretching over 40 feet long. For the first time, people realized that monsters of the deep might not be imagination after all. But here's the chilling part. Fossils of ancient sea reptiles suggest that predators even larger than giant squids once ruled the oceans. And in 2011, scientists studying strange fossil bone patterns suggested they may have been rearranged, almost like the calling card of a colossal octopus. So was the Kraken only a sailor's nightmare, or proof that the deep ocean still hides giants we've yet to see? Creature number 6, werewolves. From ancient Greek legends to medieval Europe, one creature terrified people more than any other: the werewolf, a human cursed to transform into a wolf under the full moon. But here's where myth meets reality. In 18th century France, a mysterious predator known as the Beast of Gévaudan killed dozens of villagers. Massive hunts failed to stop it, and locals began whispering that it wasn't an ordinary wolf. Science gives us another clue. Rare conditions like hypertrichosis cause excessive hair growth, giving sufferers a wolf-like appearance. Combine that with rabies, a disease that causes aggression, biting, and even a fear of water, and you have the perfect recipe for the werewolf legend. Still, rabies and rare diseases don't fully explain the brutal attacks of Gévaudan. Could there have been something else? Something darker, prowling those forests? Creature number 5, trolls. When we think of trolls, we imagine giant, ugly creatures lurking under bridges. But in ancient Norse folklore, trolls weren't always huge. Some were human-sized, with flat noses, rough skin, and strange features. Sound familiar? Anthropologists believe these descriptions may come from encounters with Neanderthals, an ancient human species that lived alongside our ancestors in Europe. They were shorter, stockier, and stronger than us. And to early humans, they must have seemed strange, maybe even frightening. When Neanderthals disappeared about 40,000 years ago, their memory may have survived in stories. Over centuries, those memories twisted into the myths of trolls we know today. So maybe trolls weren't mythical monsters at all, but the distorted echoes of another human species that once shared our world. Creature number 4, Cyclops. Imagine stumbling upon a skull larger than any human's, with a giant hole right in the middle of the forehead. To the ancient Greeks, this was undeniable proof of the Cyclops, giants with a single terrifying eye. But science later revealed the truth. These were the fossilized skulls of prehistoric elephants and mammoths. The eye socket was actually the opening for the trunk. Still, without that knowledge, who could blame them? To ancient eyes, these bones were evidence of monsters. And it raises a haunting question. If entire myths can be born from a single misunderstood fossil, what other discoveries might still rewrite the stories we tell about our world? Creature number 3, the bunyip. In the swamps and rivers of Australia, Aboriginal legends speak of the bunyip. It's a terrifying creature lurking in the shadows, said to attack humans and let out a scream so chilling it could freeze your blood. Descriptions vary. Some say it looked like a giant wombat, others like a black seal with glowing eyes. But the origin of this myth may come from real encounters. When humans first arrived in Australia 65,000 years ago, they shared the land with megafauna. Giant beasts like the diprotodon, a wombat the size of a car, and the megalania, a lizard bigger than any crocodile alive today. Imagine seeing these giants, then passing down the stories for generations. Over time, the beasts may have faded into extinction, but their shadows lived on in legend as the bunyip. Creature number 2, Leviathan. Mentioned in the Bible and feared in many cultures, the Leviathan was said to be a sea monster so powerful that no weapon could defeat it. Here's the strange thing. Cultures oceans apart. From Europe to Asia to the Pacific, all described massive sea serpents slipping beneath the waves. How could so many tell the same story without ever meeting each other? Science may have the answer. Fossils reveal real ocean predators like Basilosaurus, a 60-foot-long serpent-like whale, and Leviathan, a giant predator with teeth the size of human hands that hunted other whales. And remember, over 95% of the ocean is still unexplored. Could the Leviathan, or something like it, still be out there today, waiting? Creature number 1, Chupacabra. Unlike the others, the Chupacabra is a modern monster. First reported in Puerto Rico in 1995, it was blamed for killing farm animals, draining their blood through 2 puncture wounds. No struggle, no blood left behind. Witnesses described it as a strange, muscular beast with glowing eyes and spines down its back. Sightings spread across the Americas, and soon the legend went global. Scientists argue that most chupacabras are really sick coyotes suffering from mange, a disease that makes them lose fur and look alien. But here's the mystery. Mange doesn't drain blood. It doesn't leave those perfect surgical-looking bite marks. So if coyotes weren't responsible, what was?